This is the Monday Night Raw April 14th, 2025 full show results video which takes place at Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Gunther makes his entrance and Michael Cole gets up from the commentary desk to interview him in the ring. The ring general says Jey told him to his face that he's not afraid of him anymore last week, and he's here now to look everyone in the eyes and tell us that Jey Uso is full of crap. He tells Jey to puff his chest out and walk into WrestleMania confident because it won't matter, since at the end of the day the bell has to ring, and when that happens, Uso can't lace his boots and he'll put him down for a fourth consecutive time. For the last 2 weeks he's been told he went too far with Jey Uso, he lost control, but trust him on this one thing, in 37 years of his life he has never lost control. When he took a bath in Jim's blood, he was in full control, and he loved it. He's looking forward next week to calling his mother and telling her how much he enjoyed beating the living hell out of Jey Uso and walking out still as World Heavyweight Champion. Back from the commercial, we get a promo from Bianca Belair about how everything she's been going through has brought a new version of her out of herself and she's not mad about it. Then we saw a match between Bayley versus Liv Morgan, and the result of this match was Bayley defeated Liv Morgan when Bayley catches Liv with the stunner, hits Bayley to belly suplex, goes for cover, but Raquel put Liv's foot on the ropes. Lyra Valkyria attacks to even the odds and Raquel lays her out with a boot, then Bayley hits the stunner on Rodriguez, then Morgan hits lungblower, goes for oblivion, but Bayley escaped with a little help from Lyra, and pinned Liv with jackknife pin. Back from the commercial, Rhea Ripley gets a promo spot similar to the Bianca one from earlier where she accuses Belair of winding her up like a toy so she seems like the bad guy, but she'll stop at nothing to get her title back. The next match happened between Julius Creed versus Rey Mysterio, and the result of this match was Rey Mysterio defeated Julius Creed by pinfall with the slingshot splash. Post-match, El Grande Americano blindsides Rey Mysterio and he and Julius fight the Latino World Order off. Dragon Lee with right hands but Americano headbutts him and stands tall. New Day are interviewed backstage and they're upset at having their Clash of Clans time interrupted and claim that they've been at war this entire time and they're taking their titles back. The next match happened between AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross, and the result of this match was AJ Styles defeated Karrion Kross by pinfall with the phenomenal forearm. Post-match, Logan Paul makes his entrance and get on the mic and says he came out here to congratulate Styles on a good win and he showed everyone why their match is gonna cook. Now he wants to show why their match is gonna make money, and he runs a video package. The video is about how rich and successful and unique Logan is, and Styles says it's cute but he wants to fight right now, so get your ass in the ring. Kross tries to attack from behind but AJ is ready. Styles takes Karrion out but Paul clobbers him with the loaded punch and hits the pulverizer. Main event Jey Uso makes his entrance, dressed in all black. Jey says he said what he had to say to Gunther last week. This week, he wants to talk to the people of his hometown and his mother is here somewhere. Jey Uso thinks Gunther is afraid that he'll whoop his ass in front of 60,000 people for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Kathy Kelly is backstage with WWE Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. Just as it's beginning, the Judgment Day attacks him and then WWE officials run over to quickly break it up, but Breaker is down. The next match happened between Penta versus Finn Balor, and the result of this match was Finn Balor won the match by disqualification when Braun Breaker comes and attacked Judgment Day. Braun cleans house, spearing Dom and Carlito, and then charges in. Penta cuts him off with a knee and follows it with a kick combo and Tijeras that sends him to the floor. Zero off the top with a plancha and stands tall. Women's World Champion Io Sky has a message for Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. She says she's beaten them both before and will do it again, and at WrestleMania, they will never forget the name Io Sky, the Women's World Champion. Paul Heyman is awaiting the arrival of Roman Reigns and CM Punk sits next to him and says he's a real friend. Punk puts his arm around Heyman as Roman Reigns' SUV pulls up. Reigns looks over at Heyman and Punk before walking off and Heyman chases after him. Roman makes his entrance and asks Sacramento to acknowledge him and says the whole world understands how much they love their tribal chief and that they would never betray him, but not everyone is like them. He addresses Paul directly, asking his wise men how he could betray him as the crowd launches F chants for Heyman, which Roman asks them to speak up to make sure Heyman can hear them. Paul says it was not a betrayal, he paid back a favor that he owed. Reigns says he must be confused, because the way favors usually work is you pay it back yourself. It feels like the only person getting screwed here is him, and if there's one thing you know about Roman Reigns, it's he ain't ever gonna ask for a favor. No, he takes what he wants, and he doesn't owe a favor because he didn't ask for help, so tell him how he's supposed to cover the tab for Heyman's dumbass favor. Seth Rollins interrupts them and says Roman is finally getting it after a decade, putting the pieces together all by himself, and he's only missing one little piece, but it's too little, too late because Seth still has to end him at WrestleMania. He says if this business is full of people like Roman who only want to show up when it's convenient, and if it's full of those guys, it dies. And CM Punk is no good because he took his ball and went home, and if it's full of guys like him, it dies. Rollins says last week he chose not to put Paul Heyman in the hospital, and he gets to choose whether or not he repays that debt, and seeing as Heyman is a dishonorable scumbag, Rollins expects nothing from him. Paul isn't in CM Punk's corner at WrestleMania by chance, he has made a choice and so he's choosing Punk over Roman, and what Reigns needs to ask is why he'd do that. Roman admits Seth is right and says Heyman has made his choice, and he's made his, and Reigns attacked Rollins, lays him out and sends him to the floor. Heyman is thrilled and shouts, "I acknowledge you, my tribal chief." Reigns then pie-faces Heyman and knocks him down. CM Punk runs down to avenge his friend, then Reigns and Punk begin brawling in the ring. Punk clotheslines Reigns over the top rope and checks on Heyman before turning into a spear from Reigns. Rollins then sneaks up and smashes Reigns in the back with the Plan B Shields chair shot from 2014. Rollins hits Punk with a stomp, then Rollins crushes Reigns with a stomp and Heyman is stunned. Rollins picks up the chair and looks toward Heyman, who is cowering in fear in the corner, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's Monday Night Raw? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.